It is a Sunday morning in Rio de Janeiro, June 14, 2026. The sun is rising over one of the most beautiful cities on earth. The streets of the Recreio dos Bandeirantes neighborhood are quiet. Families are still asleep. The ocean breeze is cool and clean. And somewhere above those rooftops, two helicopters are cutting through the morning sky. For a few seconds, everything is completely normal. Then, in an instant that nobody on the ground can quite believe, those two aircraft meet in midair. The collision is violent. Both machines begin to fall. One of them plunges straight down into the parking lot of a car dealership packed with electric vehicles. The explosion ignites a fire so intense that emergency crews will spend hours trying to identify the 6 people who were on board. One of those people is a 32-year-old American musician from Santa Cruz, California. A man with a bowl cut, a scooter, and one of the most dedicated fan bases in the world. His name is Oliver Tree. And by the time the sun fully rises over Rio de Janeiro that Sunday morning, he is gone. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, this is where we break down the biggest stories in music, entertainment, and culture, always from verified, authentic sources. Before we go any further, if this kind of deep dive reporting matters to you, please take 2 seconds right now to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We put in real research hours to bring you accurate information from outlets like NBC News, PBS NewsHour, The Washington Post, Rolling Stone, Variety, and The Hollywood Reporter. And the bell is the only way to make sure you never miss a story like this one. It takes one tap, and it genuinely means the world. Now, let us go back to the beginning. Because to understand what happened on June 14, 2026 in Rio de Janeiro, you first have to understand who Oliver Tree really was. Oliver Tree Nickel was born on June 29, 1993, in Santa Cruz, California. If you have seen him perform, or even just seen a single photo, you already know the image. The mushroom bowl cut, perfectly geometric. The bright, oversized 1980s-style clothing. The electric scooter he rode everywhere, even on stage. The deadpan humor. The deliberate absurdity. Oliver Tree was a character in the truest sense of the word, but beneath that character was a musician of genuine, surprising depth. His earliest recordings came out in 2013 under a simpler name, just Tree. He was barely 20 years old, releasing music through Belgium's RNS Records, an independent label that had once been home to Aphex Twin. The sound was experimental, folktronica and warbly offbeat sing-speaking that did not fit neatly into any existing genre. Most people did not hear those early records. But Oliver Tree was paying attention, learning, and sharpening everything he would eventually become. The real breakthrough came in 2016. A DJ and producer named Weathen released a track called When I'm Down, and Oliver Tree provided the vocal. The song spread rapidly across the early days of TikTok and social media, putting his voice in front of millions of listeners almost overnight. Within weeks of that release, he signed to Atlantic Records, one of the most prestigious music labels in the world. It was the kind of signing that changes everything, and in this case, it did. His first official single under the full Oliver Tree name was Welcome to LA in 2017, a song that poked direct, sharp fun at the city's reputation for shallow glamour. It was funny and catchy and a little biting, and it introduced the world to the version of Oliver Tree who would become famous. The humor, the self-awareness, the refusal to take himself or his industry too seriously, it was all already there. In February of 2018, he released the EP that truly made him a star. Alien Boy arrived alongside a double music video for the songs All That and Alien Boy, a video that Oliver Tree wrote and directed himself. According to Variety, that video eventually amassed over 50 million views and introduced his retro oddball aesthetic to the mainstream audience for the first time. The Alien Boy character he created was simultaneously hilarious and genuinely moving. A proud misfit, an outsider, someone who wore his weirdness like armor and invited everyone else to do the same. Fans connected with it immediately and deeply. From 2018 forward, Oliver Tree built one of the most distinctive brands in modern music. He was not just a singer. He was a filmmaker, directing nearly all of his own music videos, which became known for their theatrical, high-concept, expensive-looking production values on what were often very limited budgets. He was a comedian. He was a social media disruptor who understood meme culture better than almost anyone in his generation. He set the Guinness World Record for the world's largest kick scooter in 2020, a stunt completely consistent with a career built on deliberate, joyful, slightly baffling absurdity. His debut studio album, Ugly is Beautiful, arrived in July of 2020 and was a genuine critical and commercial success. It was followed by Cowboy Tears in 2022, which he himself described as a country album for people who do not like country. Then came Alone in a Crowd in September of 2023. 3 albums in 3 years, each one different, each one exploring a new corner of his restless creative mind. His most notable tracks include Life Goes On, Miss You with Robin Schulz, Cash Machine, Alien Boy, Hurt, and Jerk. The music video for Life Goes On alone has accumulated over 464 million views on YouTube. The video for Miss You has more than 382 million views. On TikTok, he had built a following of 15.4 million people. His biggest song on that platform, Life Goes On, has been used in over 3.7 million videos. These are not minor numbers. These are the numbers of a genuinely global artist. And he was not slowing down. In April of 2026, just weeks before his death, Oliver Tree released his fourth studio album, Love You Madly, Hate You Badly. He had been building toward this record for years, and when it dropped on April 24, 2026, he released it independently for the first time, through his own label imprint called Alien Boy Records, having departed Atlantic after a long and successful run. According to the Oliver Tree fan wiki, the album contained 17 songs, was entirely self-produced, and represented the most personal work of his career. Just 10 days after the album dropped, on May 4, 2026, he announced what he called the world's first world tour, a global run of more than 70 shows across 30 or more countries on all 7 continents. The tour began on May 30th in Mexico City. He was playing the biggest stages of his life, to the biggest crowds of his career, promoting the most ambitious creative project he had ever completed. By the first week of June, he was in South America. On June 4, 2026, Oliver Tree performed in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The show, by all accounts, was everything his fans had hoped for. He was vibrant, electric, completely himself on that stage. After Buenos Aires, he moved on. His itinerary brought him to Brazil. On Saturday, June 13th, just one day before the crash, he posted a video on his Instagram account showing him playing soccer in a Brazilian neighborhood. He was laughing. He was relaxed. He was soaking in a place he had never performed before, connecting with local culture the way artists do when they are genuinely in love with what they do and where they are. Nobody watching that video had any reason to believe it would be one of the last pieces of footage anyone would see of him alive. The next morning, Sunday, June 14th, 2026, Oliver Tree boarded a helicopter in Rio de Janeiro. He was one of 5 people on board. According to CNN Brazil, citing the civil police of Rio de Janeiro, the other passengers were Lucas Vignal, Gaspar Prim, Lucas Brito Chavez, and the pilot, Alexander Souza. A second helicopter was in the air at approximately the same time, carrying a single occupant, pilot Charles Marcelac, flying alone. At some point during that Sunday morning, in the skies over the Recreio dos Bandeirantes neighborhood, a beach community roughly several miles west of downtown Rio de Janeiro, the 2 helicopters collided in midair. Recreio dos Bandeirantes is a residential area, relatively quiet, the kind of place where you would not expect the sky to suddenly become a disaster zone. But that is exactly what happened. Rio de Janeiro's military fire department reported that one of the helicopters came down in the parking lot of a car dealership where several electric vehicles were parked. The force of the crash, combined with the fuel and the car's batteries, ignited a fire that burned intensely. Emergency workers moved in quickly, and the fire was eventually extinguished. But the damage to the aircraft and to everyone on board was catastrophic. All 6 people on both helicopters were killed. An eyewitness who worked at a nearby tire repair shop, identified in NBC News reporting as a man named Fernandez de Freitas, described what he saw in those first moments after the collision. He told reporters that he watched one of the helicopters already in flames before it hit the ground, and that he noticed what appeared to be a passenger jumping or falling from one of the aircraft before impact. The details he described were horrifying, and they spread quickly through both local Brazilian media and global news outlets. In the hours after the crash, Rio de Janeiro police confirmed that Oliver Tree's name appeared on the passenger list that had been submitted to Brazilian aviation authorities before the flight. However, and this is a point that PBS NewsHour, NBC News, and the Associated Press all reported carefully, authorities also confirmed that as of Sunday evening, they had not yet been able to formally identify the bodies of those killed in the crash. The fire and the impact had made identification extremely difficult. The confirmation of Oliver Tree's death came through the passenger manifest, through CNN Brazil's reporting citing civil police, and through what his representatives and his label eventually acknowledged publicly. Among the other victims, one name stood out with particular heartbreak alongside Oliver Tree's. Gaspar Prim Diaz, known to his audience as Gaspy, was an Argentine content creator and internet personality who had built a following of 2.8 million subscribers on YouTube. He was just 23 years old. Argentine streaming channel Blender, which had worked with him, issued a public statement confirming that Gaspy had been on the helicopter. Blender wrote about his art, his magic, and his sensitivity, saying that every one of them would miss him. He was like Oliver Tree, a young creative person at the very beginning of what should have been a long and extraordinary life. When news of Oliver Tree's death broke on Sunday afternoon, the reaction across the music world and across social media was immediate and deeply felt. Rapper No Dollar, who had worked with Oliver Tree and considered him a creative inspiration, shared publicly that his heart was shattered by the news. Melanie Martinez, who had previously dated Oliver Tree, posted a tribute on Instagram. She wrote that she knew he was making the Angels giggle, and that she would always wonder what stunt or creative project he was scheming up next. The tributes poured in from fans, from producers, from fellow artists, from festival organizers who had booked him, from anyone who had ever been moved by his music, his videos, or simply by the sheer force of his personality. Rolling Stone published a full obituary. Variety ran a detailed career retrospective. The Hollywood Reporter described him as one of the most distinctive artists of his generation. PBS NewsHour and NBC News covered the story through the lens of the Associated Press's on-the-ground reporting from Rio. The Washington Post ran the story internationally. Every major entertainment outlet and every major news organization confirmed the same thing. Oliver Tree was gone. As of the time this script was written, Brazilian authorities have confirmed that an official investigation is underway to determine the exact cause of the midair collision. Why two helicopters were in close enough proximity to collide over a residential neighborhood on a Sunday morning in Rio de Janeiro remains an open question. Air traffic coordination, flight plan details, mechanical factors, human error, all of these are being examined. The investigation may take weeks or months before any firm conclusions are reached. What is already clear, however, is that the collision claimed 6 lives and left a void in the music world that nobody was remotely prepared for. Oliver Tree was in the middle of his biggest world tour. He had just released his most personal album. He had just broken free creatively, starting his own label, playing his own rules, on his own timeline, for the first time in his professional life. He was 32 years old. He had, by every measure, decades of creative work still ahead of him. Life Goes On, the title of his most streamed song, the track with 464 million YouTube views, the song that TikTok turned into one of the defining sounds of the early 2020s, carries a meaning now that it could never have carried when he recorded it. He wrote it, he told an interviewer, about toxic relationships and wasted time, about learning to move forward, about the simple, sometimes painful fact that life does not stop, even when things fall apart. It is a strange and heavy coincidence that the song which made him a global name would have a title that resonates so differently in the wake of his death. Life goes on. His will not. But his music will, and for millions of people around the world who grew up with his songs, that will have to be enough. Oliver Tree Nickel. Born June 29, 1993, in Santa Cruz, California. Died June 14, 2026, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Singer, songwriter, rapper, director, comedian, and one of the most original creative forces of his generation. He was 32 years old. Rest easy, Oliver.